Hey, y'all. Welcome back to the Killing Me Softly podcast. I am your host, Kat Branch, and thank you so much for listening today. How are y'all doing? Like, for real. How are y'all doing? I want to know, how are you doing? We are in March, and there's been a lot going on, right? In the world, probably in your personal life, probably in your head. And I want to acknowledge that. I want to acknowledge that. It has. But we're here. We are here. And we are going to do our best, as my best friend says. We're going to do our best, and we're going to take one step at a time. So if you're not okay, that's okay. But let's take one day at a time, and let's walk this thing out together. How am I doing? I am doing well. And disclaimer, as always, Miss Muffins is in the room. And I don't know if she didn't sleep good last night, but she's just yawning and she's tired. I kicked her off the couch. So I'm like, girl, we got to record a podcast and you're in my spot. So you got to move. Okay? But yes, I'm doing well. And I'm doing my best, right? I am doing my best as well. And as she yawns again, I guess she's doing her best too. Miss Muffins, that is. But by today's title, you know that we are talking about 75 hard-ish, medium, light, 75 easy, whatever it is that you might be interested in doing. Our challenge this time around was called 75-ish hard, or 75 hard-ish. Shout out to my behavior change specialist. I always talk about her, or may have said something that she says, but definitely want to shout her out here in this podcast, at Tia V Fitness on Instagram, I think she's on TikTok. I believe she has a website, tiavfitness.com. Just great. Awesome woman. I'll also share a link in the description and the show notes of an interview that she interviewed me in her newsletter in the month of January of this year. So I'll be sure to share that down below, as well as her website and her information, so you can go over and check out everything that she has to offer. She's also has a podcast, and so just a great person. So I'll share all of her information in the show notes and also in the description for those of you that are watching on YouTube, so you can go over and show her support, because Tia is definitely an amazing resource, an amazing woman, wife, person, woman, mother, wife, just a great woman who inspires me to be consistent and offers the support that you need to be able to be successful on your health and wellness journey, and especially during this 75 hard challenge that we are participating in. As you know, this is the second time that I am participating in the 75 hard challenge. The first time I did the 75 hard challenge, so we'll go back a little bit. So the first time I did the 75 hard challenge, as you know, I had been recently laid off, because we started in July and my last day of work was June 28th or so of 2024. And so I think we started the challenge possibly the second week of July, or it was either the second or third week. It might have been like the 15th or so of July of 2024. And I started the challenge the challenge because I just felt like she didn't know what was going on in my life at the time. But I started the challenge because I was in a very vulnerable place mentally, physically. I really was in a place of, I was upset. I didn't know what. Muffins. Y'all have to excuse this part right here. Muffins. Muffins. Y'all will get, and I'm not editing this out. I'm just going to be real because, it is what it is. This is real life, okay? She's licking the carpet and it's loud. It may not come off as loud on the camera, which I don't think it does, but it's loud to me and it's distracting. But anywho, so 75 hard and doing it that first time, I was really wanting to tap into, I needed something to keep me focused on my wellness. I was already working out, was already walking, I was already doing different things, but I definitely needed to really be focused on my wellness because I knew my eating was going to be up for, there wasn't really any consistency there. I would eat well sometimes, or I'm eating stuff and I'm having, too much sugar or too much this. I was going to say have no business, but no, that's not the goal to say you don't have, because that you can, everything in moderation. I don't want to paint food as being a bad thing because it is not, but anything in excess can be at a detriment to you. Anything, not just food, anything. So I wanted to make sure that I was doing something every day to take care of my body, just to be active and just to keep moving. I just felt like I had to keep moving, and I didn't, want to stop because I knew in the mornings I would wake up and I would just have a heaviness about me, and it was just because I was in a place where I would have, all of a sudden things are new and now I got to figure this thing out, right? So again, when I did the 75 hard challenge, we did 75 hard. And that 75 hard was 2 45-minute workouts. It was drinking a certain amount of water a day, reading 10 pages of a book. Whatever the plan has, you can go out and you can Google 75 hard challenge, and the list of things that are there, that is what she had plugged into our daily notifications. And obviously you could modify it in a way that it was helpful to you to so that you would be able to get it done. And because I'm a morning person, I primarily do my workouts in the morning. That has always been, for years that I've been working out, I've always done my workouts in the morning. Partly because I'm an early riser and I like to go to bed early. So I would do my 2 45-minute workouts in the morning. Most days I did a 45-minute walk outside, and I would do a 45 minutes weight training exercise every day, or a stretch. Like if I was starting to get really, really sore, or, I would stretch or try to do some other thing. If I got tired of walking, then I would do a dance workout in my living room. And I'll again share all of the resources that I can recall. I'll make sure I make notes before I post this information, because I would use at Get Fit with Rick on YouTube. He's also on Instagram. He's in Dubai, and so he had a wonderful backdrop that he would always walk outside. I would love to see like the city skyline from the videos that he would share that was next to the water. I would also use Grow with Joe, who's also on YouTube and has Instagram. And they would and I would use some other people when it came to walking, but those are the main two people that I would use if I would do like a walking dance video to get my 45-minute walk or 45-minute steps in. If I was doing weight training, I was usually doing one of two people. It would either be heatherroberts.com. She also has an Instagram. I would use her workouts because a lot of times I need to hear somebody who I like to watch workout videos where the person isn't talking. I just like to watch what they're doing. And then I might even have my own music in my ear. And then I'll also do Mr. and Mrs. Muscle, well, also on YouTube. They have Heather Roberts videos can range anywhere from between 30 to 45 minutes. And she has a series that she always does at the beginning of the year. And it's usually 90 days. And so I'm going to do that series that she did at the beginning of January. I'm going to do that when 75 Hard is over. But I digress. But so I would do Heather Roberts for weight training and also Mr. and Mrs. Muscle. I would do their videos for weight training. And their videos were about 20 to 22 minute videos where you could do either upper body, lower body, full body. Those are the people that I used when I was doing 75 Hard the first time. And it was great. It was great because I was consistent and it kept me solid with my workouts, which was amazing. And I appreciated it very much. Yes, it was hard the first time around. It was very, because I was doing the combination of the weights and the walking. And I was walking in my community. And my community has a lot of incline. And at one point, I had to slope off of that outdoor because with 75 Hard, you're supposed to do an outdoor walk. So that was the goal, to always do an outdoor walk. And then the trail that I like to use that's closest to my house is about 20 minutes, about 15 minutes away. And so after I would drop my son off to school, sometimes I was like, no, I would rather just go home, walk in my community and get it done. But what I realized was, because I was heavier then, it's like those heels was like, like at a certain point, I was starting to become very, very sore. So I had to modify. And so that's when I started to do more of the indoor walking with Get Fit with Rick and Grow with Joe, and then also using the treadmill. And that helped. And so I got through 75 Hard. Was very excited about it and just really felt accomplished, because then after we finished 75 Hard the first time, then we moved into a walking challenge. And initially the walking challenge was 10 to 15,000 steps every day. Preferably, the closer you get to that. But in I couldn't do the 15,000 steps. I just could not. My body was not in a place to do the 15,000 steps every single day. So I picked 10 to 12,000 steps. And what I'll say here, I'll pause to say, again, if you're looking for someone to help you with behavior change, Tia is the one you should be looking to. 10 out of 10 recommend, because Tia recognized, she will set a goal, but she also always says, you have to do what works for you. And that doing what works for me has empowered me to take control of looking at a goal, like looking at what somebody else is doing and then saying, oh, if I'm not doing it at that level of effort, then I'm wasting my time, or it's not going to produce the results that I'm looking for. Like, I have to do it the way that they say that it needs to be done, or I'm not successful. I almost would have an all or nothing type mentality. And that is that's not sustainable. All or nothing is not sustainable. It's not. Especially for me, being a 49-year-old woman with a family, with a purpose, and with dreams and goals that I want to accomplish. And all or nothing mentality is set up for failure. It just is. All or nothing means that if I don't get it done, and I've talked about the episode here before, precision over perfection. All or nothing means that I have to be perfect. And there is no world that Cat Branch is perfect. I am not. I have to figure out a way to do things that will allow me to be successful, because sometimes life is going to happen and I'm going to have to modify. So I had to make that adjustment when I did that workout. Like when I modified from when she said 15, well, no, I can't. I tried it. Girl, it takes too much energy, too much effort. And when I say too much energy or too much effort, you have to know where you are in life. And based on where you are in life, sometimes you're going to have to make adjustments to what it is that you're trying to do. Because if I'm trying to get these 15,000 steps every day, I have a teenage son. I have a husband. Some days I might be able to hit it. But if it's the day that he has drum practice and I'm a little tired and I needed to sleep in a little more, well, you know what? If I don't do it at all, if I don't do it and I don't do it to 15,000, then it's not good enough. And then I might have this idea where, you know what, I'm just not going to do it at all. And no. On those days, I would still do. I knew I could hit 10. I knew I could hit the 10,000 steps. And so now, this time around, I'm hitting the 10,000 steps. Now 10,000 steps has become almost like brushing my teeth, honestly, because I know how to get, the 10,000 steps. And most days I exert energy to do it, but it's not as much energy as it would have taken the first time around when we were doing the step challenge. But again, what have I learned this second time around about myself and completing the 75 hard-ish challenge? Because it's 75 hard-ish this time around. And one thing that I've learned is that keep it simple. Keep it simple. I used to think that if I wasn't doing, like I said before, an all or nothing mentality, for years, I have worked out for years. And I've been an overweight person working out. I think because of my height and my build, I carry my weight well. However, I've always, had an issue with food. But when I say keep it simple, walking is simple for me. Like now, like I said, it's ingrained in me to hit 10,000 steps. I used to think that I would have to do like, I'm gonna and not that there's anything wrong with training for a marathon, because there isn't. I think I will attempt a marathon one more time in my life. The first time I attempted a marathon, I ran 19 and that was it. And I did the Walt Disney Marathon and it was like record temperatures in January. I'm a Floridian, a native Floridian. So I'm used to heat. Do I like heat? Absolutely not. I hate the heat. However, growing up in Florida, you're dealing with heat. Humidity is the biggest issue. And so there was record temperatures that year of the marathon. It was so bad that they actually cut the marathon short and redirected, because you run through all of the parks through Disney World. They actually cut the parks short because it was so hot that year. And so I made it 19 and I was like, hey, that was my marathon, 19 miles. But, those are things that I would do. Keto, green juice in the mornings. And not that there's anything wrong, but my mentality, there's nothing wrong with the things that I'm talking about if that's what you choose to do. I'm not coming on here to bash different ways of eating and this and that. But, I did keto. I lost a lot of weight. And then I gained the weight back. Even though I trained for the marathon, I probably lost maybe about 15 pounds training for that marathon. But because I'm doing so much running, I'm hungry. And so the issue is you cannot, what they say is true, you cannot outwork a bad diet. That's it. I mean, that's the truth. You ask me how I know. I know. You cannot workout, whatever, a bad diet. You can't do that. No. You have to, the nutrition has to match. I mean, the nutrition is more important than the working out, if we're being completely honest. It just is. You know, what you put in your body, what you consume consistently is important. And yes, there's always room for, if you want to have a treat and have this, but again, it's everything in moderation. And so I realized that I was doing things to try to kill myself. And when I say kill myself, it's just like beat my body down, to try to achieve this goal. And I could not sustain it. I did the keto, but girl, I'm not giving up ice cream and bread and all of that for the rest of my life. No, for what? Everything in moderation. But I have to make sure that if I have a goal and I say this is something I'm trying to do, then what can I sustain to meet my goals? And this time, doing 75 hard, I've realized that the simple things that I'm doing to sustain it is to, number one, I walk every day. I get at least 100 ounces of water a day. I have my notes. I'm looking down to look at my notes. I get at least 100 ounces of water a day. I strength train at least 3 times a week. And so that strength training looks like an upper body day, and these are workouts that are about 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes in duration. I do an upper body, I do a lower body, and so I have an upper body day, 30 to 45 minutes. I have a lower body day, that's 30 to 45 minutes. And then I have a full body day, which is 30 to 45 minutes. Sometimes I will utilize the resources that I mentioned before that I did the first time around 75 hard. Other times, because I've been working out for so long, I know what upper body and lower body workouts are. I know what weights are. And I enjoy lifting weights. Like, that's one of the, things that I do enjoy about working out, because lifting weight impacts what your body, what your shape looks like. And so I like to see the adjustments and the improvements that I'm making in toning my body. So again, that's walking every day, getting that water in, and doing strength training those different days of the week. Now, I'm not strength training every day. Absolutely not. No, I am not. And one of the things that even Tia mentioned that this time around is like, yes, the weights are important, but even when life happens, just continue to walk. If you can't weight train for a few days or a week or two, keep your steps up. Because not only am I keeping my steps up, but this time around, I am focused on nutrition. And this 75 hard challenge, we have been strongly focused on our nutrition. And that is logging our food. Not only do I log my food, but I weigh my food. So I'm using a scale that also has an app. And I use that so that I can know how many calories I'm getting, my carb intake, my fat intake, and my protein. I know all of that information. And when I first started using that scale consistently, because I've had the scale, I said it before here, I've had the scale since October, but I was not using it consistently. And this time around, I'm using that scale consistently. I will say that it takes time. Logging your food in, that takes time. That first month, it was like, okay. But what happened was I saw my measurements moving down. Scale and the tape measure. Body measurements. Like, And that was like, okay. Because once you are really tracking your food and weighing it, and you're like, oh, you know if you're eating too much, you know if you're not eating enough. And then sometimes you're hungry and you're like, oh, I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat this bread, I'm gonna eat this. Well, no, you need to eat, you haven't had enough protein for the day. Oh, okay. So I eat my protein. Oh, okay. I'm feeling good. I feel better now. I've used that scale, and that scale has shown me the truth. Well, they say the truth shall set you free. The scale, the food scale is setting me free from lies that I tell myself. It really has. That scale, and I'll link put the link to the scale that she recommended that I also purchased, and I love it. And anything that allows me to see measurements and tracking, I'm a nerd that way, and I enjoy that. So that makes me that has been very helpful this time around, is that I can do all of the exercise in the world that I want to do, but if I'm not tracking my food, then what's the point? Because sometimes it's that you're not losing weight because you're not eating enough. You're not getting in enough protein. And that was something that, I would like, oh, I'm not eating that much, or I might have a smaller lunch and a larger dinner, but girl, you're still not eating enough, especially when you're demanding something from your body for all of these steps or to do weight training and all of this. Your body's like, no, I need more. I need more energy to be able to do the things that you're asking of me. So, yeah, that's me. That's simple. It's simple to walk. It's simple. You don't have to do 30 to 45 minutes of work. You do 20, 10. Even I have iPhone, and they have the Apple weight icon on there, and they have 10-minute videos for you to do on there. And then you can find 10-minute, whatever it is, wherever you are, you can find, it's out there. It's on YouTube. YouTube has so many. I mean, when I get tired of working out with one person, I find other people. There is so much workout material on YouTube that is just, and it's free. You don't have to go to the gym. I have not been in a gym since my family and I left Florida. I have not been to the gym. I have been working out at home and outside. And thankfully, we have a treadmill downstairs. We have weights. But all of that stuff we had before. So there was like, the treadmill was the new thing. We invested in a treadmill when we came. And that treadmill, I'll try to link that as well. That treadmill was maybe, it was under, was it 600? I'm not sure, but I think it was on sale when we got it. And it's a NordicTrack. And it has been great. Great. I mean, I know that, everybody doesn't have, and you don't even have to get a treadmill. They have walking pads that are like $200 that you can get. Because walking pads are like all the rave now. Everybody has a walking pad because it's about getting your steps in. But again, those are simple things that I have been doing. Those simple things I have been doing that are things that don't require a lot of effort, but putting on your shoes and dancing around your living room, or walking outside, or getting on your walking pad or your treadmill, whatever it is. I'm not trying to, run a certain mile or this or that. It has just been steps. And what I will say is, because I've been consistent with those little things, I am now progressing to be able to jog again. I've started for the past 3 weeks. I've been doing jogging intervals on the treadmill only 3 times a week. Only 3 times a week. Because my body, I had been feeling like, I think I could do a little bit more. I think I could go faster. And I've been doing that, and it's happening. And it's happening because I took the little bit that I had at the beginning and I was consistent with it. And now, because I was consistent with where I was with hitting those 10,000 steps, now my body is showing me, okay, you're dropping some weight, you're getting stronger, you can do a little bit more, so that because at a certain point, I'm going to have to progress. I'm just going to stand still, and I don't want my body to plateau. So I've implemented the intervals over the past 3 weeks, and I have felt so good. Now, does it always feel great? No. But what I tell myself is, you can still do it. You still could do it. Just because it's hard doesn't mean you can't do it. So number one, keep it simple. The second thing that I've been doing, I said keep it simple and be consistent. I mean, I basically talked about both of them at the same time. Keep it simple and be consistent. Be consistent. Do I want to get up every day to work out? Absolutely not. If I came on here and told you I like to work out, I would be lying. I do not like to work out. There are things about working out that I enjoy, but if I didn't have to work out, I wouldn't. Or if I didn't need to work out, because I don't have to do it. I'll say that I don't have to do anything. But I need to. Just like I need to spend time with God every day, I need to move my body every day. I need God. I need him. He is not an accessory or a nice to have. No. He is a necessity. Because I think I said something different before that. If I did, I apologize. He is a necessity. Not a nice to have. He is a necessity. And the same way that God is a necessity because he is going to sustain me, I have to engage in activities that will sustain my body for what I am asking of it. There are things that God has placed on my heart, in my heart. I have a family. I have children. I want to be around to see more grandchildren. And so I have to do the things that are required of me. I have to make sacrifices. And walking 10,000 steps a day is a sacrifice. Right now, it takes me about an hour to hit 10,000 steps a day. Sometimes less, and most times it's a little bit less. I might, if it's first thing in the morning and I walk for an hour because of the speed that I'm going, I can hit about 9,000 steps in an hour. About 9,000 steps. And what'll happen is the stronger and stronger that I get, I'll be able to move faster and faster on the treadmill because my goal is to be able to hit 10,000 steps in 1 hour. In 1 hour. And then, but I can't do that if I'm eating whatever I want to all day. And that's something that I had to come to a realization with in my mind. Like, yeah, girl, you want to do what you want to do. It's like, you say you want this, but then you're doing this. You say you want to be able to, cross your legs. I'm just, using an example. Or you say you want to get into a size 16, 14, but you still eating cookies every day. Are you still doing this? Or you still doing that? I mean, we have to decide what it is that we want. Kat has to decide what it is that she really wants. And I know what I really want. I know what I really want. I don't always want to be consumed with weight. I don't. I've said it before. I said it with the interview that I had with Tia. I've never enjoyed being overweight. Ever. I've never been like, oh, but but I also present myself in a way because I want to present myself in a way that makes me feel the best when I show up in the world. So have I always been like, oh, what I feel that I'm looking crazy or what? No. But I also know that this body that I am in now, I'm better. I'm growing, but I have goals. I have goals. I know what size I am now. I've come down 2 sizes. I know where I want to be, which is 4 sizes away. Okay? My goal is to be in a size 12 dress. I don't have a scale goal, but I have a dress size goal. And a dress size goal is a size 12. Is a size 12. And probably a size 14 jean. We'll see. I shared that with Tia on her podcast. And that podcast is on my other number. That's a very good podcast. So that's a paying podcast. You would have to pay to be able to, but it's only $5 a month. So support her. But anywho, if I have goals that I want to meet, then there are sacrifices that I'm going to have to make for a period of time to get there. And there will always be sacrifices for me as it comes to weight. Even when I get to that size 12 dress, I'm still going to have to make sacrifices. I may be able to eat a little bit more of this and that. However, I still will always have to make sacrifices because I know that weight has been something or is something that has been a challenge for my life. And so there may be sacrifices that I always have to make. I may always have to monitor my food intake and weigh my food on a scale. That may be something I have to do for life. I may have to make sure that I at least hit between 7,500 and 10,000. Maybe I'll be able to adjust my steps. But I always want to be moving, and I always want to be healthy. And I always want to be in a place where God gets the glory from my life. Even in this, he's getting the glory. Me completing 75, I couldn't do this without him. I couldn't, because I have good days where I want to do the challenge, and then I have bad days. Last week I posted on my Instagram stories. I was like, oh, I'm over it. I'm over doing 75 hard. I think today is 62 or 63, somewhere in there, of 75 hard. I know last Friday when was I walking? I think it was day 57, and I was walking on Thursday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Today is Tuesday when I'm recording that. So it's 5 days. So today is I think I'm on day 62 of 75 hard. And I'm over it. I am over it. I'm ready to move on to something else. I'm thinking about possibly even taking a Pilates class here and there. I don't know. We'll see. I'm a little scared of Pilates, but I hear that it's great for your body. But the last thing I wanted to share that I've learned, so we said I'm keeping it simple. Consistency is key. And the third thing is feelings are not facts. Like I said, and I pretty much just went into that. I don't want to get up every morning to do 75 hard. I don't want to get up every morning when 75 hard is over, because I'm accountable to a group right now. But with Tia, I always stay in contact with her, and I'm accountable to her. So I'm still going to be using her app. Plug for her here. The app is $25 a month. That's cheaper than a gym membership in some places, but $25 a month to use her app. She coaches you. She gives you feedback. You have access to her. She answers your questions. She'll look at your nutrition plan, all of that. For $25 a month, everything you need is right there. She even pulls in little workouts. She has the workouts in the actual app that you can use at your fingertips, so you don't even have to go on YouTube and find anything. And she'll do that for you if you need her to. Great resource. Great resource. But feelings are not facts. I don't always feel like getting up and doing it. But at the end of the day, usually my feelings don't lead me down the right path that I need to go. If I wake up feeling like, oh, I don't want to do that, because always, pretty much, if not 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 times, once I get on that treadmill or once I'm doing my workout, once I'm done, I feel better. I just do. I don't know what it is. It's endorphins, I think they say. But then too, it's also because I have started my day. I have said there are not going to be things that we want to do in this life. Just like I don't want to get on the treadmill every day. Do I always feel like praying? Nope. I'm being honest. I want to do something else. I want to scroll my phone. I want to tap in to see what they talking about on this and no, but is that going to sustain me? Is that going to sustain you, sis? No, it's not. It is not. I have to do things that are going to sustain me in this season of my life. Every season, we need to be doing things that will sustain us. But the closer you get to the other side of 50, things become more, you know? I'm at that place. I'm at that season in my life where I have to do things that are going to sustain me. So am I in a season of my life where I'm training for a marathon? No, I'm not. I'm in a season of my life where I'm doing things and I'm taking steps that I can do consistently to preserve my body, to preserve my knees, to preserve the mental and mental energy that I need. Because if I were doing keto and training for a marathon and, doing all these, if I was doing all these things, yeah, my results would be faster. They would. They absolutely would. Although I'm in perimenopause probably, and, there's all these other things going on with my body. So that could be a challenge, in and of itself. But if you're not facing that, yeah, you could probably do a marathon and train for a marathon, run every day. You could run every day, do keto, and do all these things, drink a bunch of water and all these things at one time, and you would definitely get faster results. And if you have everything in perspective and that works for you and it's good, go right ahead and do that. Because that may be where you are. Where I am and where my challenge has been with food and lose gain. Because of those methods that I was using in the wrong way, I wasn't able to sustain it. But now I see more clearly that consistency is key because it's about a journey. It's about a journey that I'm taking. And that journey is not just a one size fits all. Not for me. My journey is going to have ups and downs. There are going to be things that I have to do, things that I might be faced with, adjustments that I have to make in my life because of, experiences, challenges. I have a family. I have to have energy for them. I'm not just by myself. I'm affected by things that go on with my family. And so if I create a space in my life that allows me to be consistent, even when I might face challenges, because even when you're going through a challenge, you need time to think and to spend with God. And I could do that walking on a treadmill. I can go out and walk 10,000 steps and not even break a sweat and still have a clearer mind and still have vision and still get direction from God by being able to do those steps and still burn calories and still move forward, even when I'm slowed down because of life. And so those are the things that I learned. I'm keeping it simple. I have to remain consistent. And I always got to keep in mind that feelings aren't facts. The fact is that if I'm going to sustain this life and to make it in this life, I have to do things that are appropriate for the season of life that I'm in. And in this season of my life, those are the things that I'm focused on. Always focused on God and spending time with him. Always focused on the relationships that are closest to me. Always focused on doing what God tells me to do. Being obedient, because quiet as just kept. I can't be disobedient to the Father. And then also taking care of the temple that he's given me. And so I digress. This has been a long episode. I'm sure y'all tired and over it. If you stayed to the end to watch, I appreciate it. But I just really wanted to share things that I've learned about myself during this second time of 75 Hard, and how even those things, even though it has been about, wellness and a workout challenge, it has not only strengthened me physically, it's strengthened me spiritually. Because I have the strength that I need to do, that I have because of what God has given me. I couldn't do this without him. I really couldn't. And that's always the point that I'm trying to drive home at the end, is that I am not here. I would not be here at this place in my life if it were not for a God who loves me. And so for that, I'm eternally grateful. So thank you so much for listening. I hope that I shared something today that would bring you closer to Christ. Take care. As you know, this is our second to last episode for I didn't say that, but this is the second to last episode for the Killing Me Softly podcast for this season 1. We have one more episode next week, and then we will go on a short break. But I'll share more about that next week on our wrap-up episode for the season. But thank you so much for listening. God bless. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, man. Take care of yourself. If you're young and you're watching this, be easy with yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Don't let the world tell you how to move. Don't let the world tell you how to move. Go to God. Go to God. Go to God. All right. I'll talk to y'all next week. Bye.